So today we'll be talking about the Georgists. The Georgists are just a school of thought started by Henry George. Henry George was in Pennsylvania from the mid to late 1800s. He was actually born of a poor family and then was able to experience a little bit of a wealthier lifestyle from being a politician and an economist. Then he wrote the book Progress and Poverty, and that was actually one of the best-selling books of its time, and it was on economic inequality that he witnessed from being in California and then also New York and Pennsylvania, obviously. And the Georgists are oftentimes associated with the physiocrats. The physiocrats and Georgists both believe that value should be derived from land. One of the major differences between the two is that the physiocrats believed in private land and that the owners of that private land were the rich and those should be taxed. The Georgists thought that land should be a public good that's shared by the community, and then those taxes go to basically the good of the community. And basically the two of them, the two groups, they thought that agricultural value and resource value on top of the land was basically the most important thing. And agricultural labor is the only labor of value, and that all the resources on the land should be taken into account, such as anything below the ground, any sort of water or fish that's on the land, and that should all be taken into account when valuing and taxing the land as well. So the Georgists kind of thought that land value basically should be shared, like I said, and then going off of that, people create their own value. So basically, if someone wants to build a house or someone wants to use this land for whatever they want, that value should be the people's. Basically, that the person who's responsible for creating that value, which is good and it helps drive economic growth. And then they thought of a single tax was the best way to remedy the current problems of inequality at the time. So this was called the land value tax. So just basically the value of the land was taxed, anything created by the person was not. And some of the pros of this were that it did not limit economic productivity. So it didn't prevent people from going out and starting their own ventures, because if their venture did well, it wasn't going to be taxed. If the venture didn't do well, it still wasn't going to be taxed. So it really helped encourage growth. So compared to modern day we have all of the common taxes such as income tax, sales tax, imports, exports, and tariffs, property taxes, and then of the property taxes, this is actually what factors in the land value as well. So very different from what the Georgists believe and what the physiocrats believe.